You know they got that same name with different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. They got that same name, different point of views. Whichever one you choose, you can't lose. Keisha and Keisha,
knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't got it, you
man.
can get some if you hurt them.
Keisha and Keisha, man.
Knowledge, wisdom, and discernment.
Keisha
you don't
and
got
Keisha,
it, you
man.
can get some if you hurt them. We gon' laugh, have a good time. Just sit back and elevate your mind.
Hey guys, welcome. It is episode number 35. Okay, 35 and a half.
What?
It's Thursday night, it's raining. I tried to blow my hair out. That didn't work.
I know, my hair was so tight, I had to go home and twist it. I said, ooh, I left home with a big fro. Came home, my fro was this
University
big.
where the baby go to school.
Woo!
All right,
Martin Luther King went to Fisk. Come on. Y'all know y'all history. Martin Luther King went to Fisk, baby. Alumni. You don't care? Y'all don't care?
Yeah, I mean, we're good. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So, we got a special show tonight.
Is it special?
It's special.
I think it's special.
Our latest addition to our podcast is Miss Peaches. As is that what Greg said? Did he give another name? He just said Peaches.
No, she Peaches, because you the collard greens, I'm the hot sauce, he the cornbread, and we got the peaches.
Come on in, birthday girl.
Hey.
Birthday girl.
It's her birthday. It's her birthday. It's
Y'all gonna excuse me tonight because I'm hungry. I done did a whole bunch of running around and some stuff I've been doing, and so I got me some wings. So we gonna just kind of roll with that.
And do your thing, baby, because listen, we trying to multitask and we can eat and talk. Let's do it.
All right. So Peaches, first up is it's your birthday.
How old is your girl?
39.
How old is your girl?
I'm 39, girl. I'm 39.
And guess what, Peaches? You a baby.
Oh.
She a baby.
You can't tell these knees that.
What you
That's
been
a lot of
doing
stuff you can't
these?
tell when you're 39.
What she been doing on the knees?
Not what I want to do.
Well, I would say
And the jury is out.
well, we also have another special guest. She didn't want to join us on the podcast tonight, and that's Beta. Beta, can you say hey from over there?
Hey, everybody.
All right.
All right, we
She came all
got
the
to
way
say
down
hey.
from Mississippi.
Mississippi. You from Mississippi? She said she ain't not from no Mississippi.
Ooh.
She from Maryland, but she been living in Mississippi.
Oh, you better claim it because I'm Alabama. I don't care nothing about
for
this
a
girl.
million. Can I have a chicken wing, Kid?
You can. It's your birthday.
Thank you.
I'm on a diet.
It's chicken.
I'm like, you don't just hate me.
You just ate
On my face.
Why you can't let me lie to the people? All right, tonight is your birthday, and we've got some recap. But do you want to do birthday first? You want to do some more peaches?
Let's do some more pieces. Let's ask a few questions. Let's ask.
We got.
For anybody who's tuning in, we want to know what was like your best birthday. So Peaches, we're gonna start off with you. What was the best birthday you had? Or not present, but just experience, like what you did on your birthday. Really?
You should tell me questions ahead of time.
Really? Okay. All right, we'll
Really?
come back. Well,
Let's
think
see.
about
What
how
we
about
do?
you? How about you, Peaches?
My best birthday was I went by myself and did a spa day, and it was just me. And guess what?
You
Then I
always talk
stopped
about
by.
doing stuff by yourself.
Girl, I know. And then I stopped by Small Cakes, got me a maple bacon small cake. What?
Which one?
For your birthday?
For my birthday. By
Let me think.
myself.
I love my 40th birthday because I gave myself a party.
Hey. Hey.
Oh, can I
made
tell
sure-
about future birthdays that I'm thinking is going to be the best one?
No.
Oh,
We
You
don't
got to
know.
live it. You got tomorrow, not promise.
Let's toast to your birthday. Drink a little cranberry juice.
Hello.
With a little bit of vodka. Keisha is
It's
like
your
the
birthday.
best.
It's your
Best
birthday.
mixer. You do it, girl.
It's your
Yeah,
birthday.
that's
It's
My
your
book
birthday.
say he do it. Y'all need to have a mixer. I'm a mix off. Let's
Oh
see
no!
what.
You know who does great mixes is my brother Rod.
Really?
He's like stupid with it.
Your brother-in-law.
Well,
Okay.
I call it.
No, I'm just saying. 'Cause I was thinking Cliff at first,
Oh.
and then I was like, her
I said
brother-in-law.
Rod.
I know. I'm saying when you said my brother,
Rod. I did say that.
I didn't say you did. I'm saying when I heard it, when I was like Cliff, then she said Rod. I was like, oh, her brother-in-law.
Okay, whatever.
That's good.
So when my brother Rob mixes drinks, he does an amazing job with it. Like stupid amazing job. And he'll have you sit up here, you would think you're drinking Kool-Aid
And be
until
tipsy.
you get up. So if ever you out in Chicago, want to have a good time, he'll grill something on the grill for you. I mean, that's how he get down. That's how the whole
like
family
that.
get
Well,
down. We get
that's
down like
good.
that here too.
That's good. I got a cousin that mix drinks, and he make them just how we all like them, sweet.
I don't like them.
And I know you don't like sweet. And girl, he be mixing them up. And look, and he cook and he clean. I almost had him move in with me.
I'm about to say
I
it's
told him
your
I need
cousin.
a
Be
wife.
careful.
No, I'm talking about the cook and clean and cook. That's, I mean,
You said you need a wife?
yeah.
Oh my God.
Don't we all?
So you're taking it as what the wife does. Like the husband can't cook and clean?
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
Okay.
Because most men want a wife for that. I need a wife too.
I mean, but you know what? It's different because there are a lot of men who do like to cook and clean.
Yeah, I just ain't met them.
Because you from Alabama.
No, I just ain't met them.
Your
I mean,
boo don't cook and clean?
girl.
No.
Keisha got a boo?
Keisha got a boo.
She got a boo?
She got a boo.
You got a boo?
You got a boo.
Mm.
What's his name?
Girl, his name Doja.
Keisha?
Stop asking me that piece of y'all fall for it every week. I'm gonna tell Doja about y'all putting them on blast.
Okay, so, again, best birthday, you said you had a spot. My best birthday, I threw myself a 40th birthday party in Peaches.
My best birthday is gonna be my 40th next
Girl.
year. I can't remember, Key.
Then that must
What
be
did
a
we
real
do?
good party. She can't remember.
I mean, you lived in Vegas for 7 years. Didn't you have 7 birthdays?
I can't tell them stories.
Oh.
Then you can't remember. See,
No.
she said she
I
can't
remember them. I can't tell them. It's a difference between
But when I'm with your best,
when I was.
then that's what we asking for.
But I can't. It's a not safe for work story.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Well,
We'll save it for
respect
tomorrow.
that.
Tomorrow. And then I'll come back and tell y'all what she said.
So anyway, okay, so we're talking about birthdays, and everybody at this table is grown but Peaches because she's still in her 30s. So,
She a
Beta,
baby.
how old are you? You say maybe
39.
see, yeah,
Okay, she a baby
they're babies,
too.
they're babies. And so
She just lied.
she's gonna turn the, she's gonna get into the dirty 40 club. She said 39. She lied. You lied,
You
baby.
didn't know she was lying. I was like, she nobody tell you.
Hey,
That's
like, don't crack
you
me.
never ask a woman how old she is.
Oh,
I'm
I don't care.
25
I don't
all
care.
day. Oh, I care. I'm 25.
Oh, well,
All right.
yeah, I'm 25. to be
So
fair,
listen,
my
if you
numbers
are watching us right or listening, we want you to kind of share with us what age were you for your best birthday. Give us some numbers on how old you were for your best birthday. I liked my 21st birthday too.
I was pregnant.
On your 21st birthday?
Me too. Me too. I had my baby. He was born on the 20th. My birthday the 29th. I had him. I was 21. He was, and then 9 days later, I turned 22.
I turned 22. Yeah, I was 20. I turned 21 while I was pregnant with Gabe in December, and I had him in March. And me and his dad this is when I was in Vegas. He was like, "Damn, Peaches, you can't even drink." I said, "Full of baby.
Full of baby.
Full of baby."
I never drank. Everybody thought I was. Everybody back then thought I was high and drinking. And when I was in college, and I wasn't drinking or high, but I was straight
Never?
wilding. No, cause I was the type of person who had a personality that people used to be like, "What you on? What you? I'm not on nothing." Life, but no, the babies will slow you down. But my birthday is July the 29th. My brother's August 2nd. My cousin's August 5th. So growing up, we had one party. So it's like, so when I got older, it was like, can I just do this by myself?
Now I will tell you, I used to hate the kids who had birthdays during school. But they always got the little cupcakes bought to school and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
My birthday
yeah.
is June 25th, right at
Summer.
the beginning of summer.
Nice.
So I never had, and then you try to plan
We
something,
summer
but when you're
babies.
young, your friends, everybody kind of go down and wait for the summer. So, yeah, I hated that.
Yeah, mine's, in the summer. But I had my brothers and my cousins, so
I mean, I did have that. My mom did, she did hook it up.
I didn't really care for people at school.
Okay.
I don't think my mom was
All right,
buying
let's ask Peaches a
cupcakes
couple
for
of
everybody.
questions.
All right, Peaches, are you ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? If you could pick any state to live in and you knew your job would be waiting there, which would you choose and why? I'm tipsy already.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
That's not hard.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so which state and
Go
why?
ahead.
I would probably, yeah, I was just gonna say, I would probably, since I'm from the South.
Baby, you could have got on the podcast
and
over
said-
there
I know-
coaching.
But
I
no,
just
but
know
she
that.
know me so well.
I know
though.
what she was gonna say.
It would probably
Okay,
be
go.
Colorado because I'm retired from the military,
Okay.
and so I want to go somewhere where it's recreational. You know what I'm saying? And I've
Okay.
always lived in the South my whole life. I've never been above the Mason-Dixon line,
Me either.
even in the military. So
Me
that would be a
either.
totally, completely different.
We are the same. I've
So
never
here's
been
the-
above the Mason-Dixon line.
Never
So
been
here's a
above it.
spin off to that. So, if you would go for that reason, do you think when your kid asks if you've recreationally,
I would tell him. He already know.
I'm just saying smoke weed, or if you recreationally did other stuff, would you
I
tell
don't
him?
care.
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
mine
back
knows.
problems.
You got back problems?
Municipal.
Municipal. But I'm just saying,
but
like,
I'm
do you think
thinking-
that you should share that? I mean,
Yes.
you gotta, especially if they're like, at what age?
Well, see, mine is 16, and he's at that age where he's kind of, he's curious himself already.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so he, in a year and a half from now, he's about to be out on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So his dad is not there full time. So, you know, that to me, that's kind of like doing like the mother-father dual role type thing.
Mhm.
Somebody has to teach him and explain to him and talk to him about, okay, if you do this, what's the consequences of it, and
Right.
yada, yada, yada. So, you know I'm an open book kid. I don't have any issue. And as raising a young black man in today's society, I don't believe in being naive about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very open with Gabe about everything.
Well, and I think it's about to be legal everywhere. If they learn how to tax it right. I need
All the other
hey,
states is the one that
That's
is
what I'm like.
Colorado is
Look.
ooh, they having a good
If
that's in
alcohol
Canada.
legal, it need to be legal.
They had getting it from Canada because
Well,
they ain't got enough.
I will say this. I think, you know, DJ actually, we had this text message conversation the other day about this, and he asked me, and I was like, you know, when I was in college, absolutely. He asked me, do I think anything wrong with it?
No.
And if it's like a gateway drug, because a lot of the research, he goes down these rabbit holes like I do. Like, we'll start on something and just kind of go. And he was saying how the negativity that has gotten associated with it has come because the government was trying to regulate people making money from it. And so they made it something that was criminal. They put all these
Right.
negative things to it.
But
And
that's so
research
far
it
from the
yourself.
truth.
Mhm.
Because it's the reason, like it kind of like what DJ said, the reason why it was so stigmatized is because the government couldn't regulate it and they was pushing the pharmaceutical stuff
Right.
and
Like
all
alcohol.
those bad.
Alcohol did the same thing.
Exactly, alcohol is worse.
That's what I just said.
Alcohol is worse than marijuana. All these medical issues that people have with cancer, that anxiety, depression, PTSD, and all these issues that they're having, and it can be controlled with this one herb
Mhm.
versus popping all these pills
Yeah.
that's having
That
all
are-
these
side
life-threatening
effects.
side
Well, I
effects.
think the
Oh.
biggest thing that people are saying is a gateway drug.
And it's not.
It's not.
And it
And
hasn't been
it
proven.
hasn't been
And it
proven.
hasn't.
Alcohol's the gateway drug.
Because
So what do y'all think? Is anybody making comments? What do y'all think about marijuana?
Nobody's made a comment yet.
Okay. So that's what I'm concerned about. Like, as the listeners, what do you think? Should you tell your kids? And then two, how do you feel about?
I don't
I
care.
I don't think it's a gateway drug. I think if you're going to get addicted to something, it's just your chemical.
You're going to be addicted
Brain
to something. And
makeup
it-
in your
it
mind
could be
already.
to food, alcohol, sex. If you have an addicted
Right.
personality.
That's
There are
what it
people
is.
I
addicted
don't.
to like drama.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because our body can get so used
I
to
think
it.
they have to put eyes at me. That's
No,
fine.
I did not.
Yes, she
I did
did.
not.
Yes, she did. Own it. Tell her own
Beta
it.
just looked at me, and I was like,
It
huh?
was, she was cutting it at you, Peaches.
Was she?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I moved out
You
the way.
blocked it.
I didn't.
You
I
blocked
did
it.
this.
The drama.
All
blocker.
right. What's next? What was your biggest surprise ever?
When I was
Yeah.
pregnant.
You know what I'm about to say? Being pregnant. Surprise, bitch, you pregnant.
The Lord knows I wasn't
Look.
trying. I was in the middle. My first enlistment, I was working at Applebee's part-time, and I was going to school. Who trying to get pregnant doing all that?
having
You, because
sex.
you was doing pregnant things.
But you know what's funny though?
That we was.
Right.
What's funny is the denial. You ain't seen your period in 8 months.
But see, the thing is, though,
I ain't pregnant. I still ain't pregnant.
I was still,
You said 8 months.
I was still
You
having
said yourself.
periods, so my cycle was so irregular.
But I'm
that I
just
didn't
saying.
know. I had went home.
People be like, "Are you pregnant?" No, I ain't pregnant.
You said what?
My cycle was irregular. Like it wasn't
So she
nothing for
didn't
me
know.
to be late or whatever because it was never really the typical
But
21
I'm
days.
just saying, the gaining the weight, all the other stuff.
I didn't.
No,
I
and
didn't
some people-
gain weight initially.
What are you talking about? When did you find out you were pregnant?
I didn't
You went
find-
8 months.
I was.
No, I was
That's what
joking.
she was
I
saying.
was joking.
Oh, she was being facetious. Yeah, I was like 8 weeks, almost 9 weeks when I was found out I was pregnant.
Yeah,
I was well over 2 months.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You.
Yeah.
But I was losing weight. I didn't gain weight till I was 6 months pregnant.
Oh no, I gained in my
Girl,
second.
guys thought I was so fine. I was pregnant, 5 months pregnant. They were like, "Girl, you done put us. Look at you."
Yeah.
And it was all baby.
Yeah.
No way. I had lost 3 pounds.
Right before I found out, I had went home on leave, and Daddy told me this the other day. He was like, "When you was pregnant with Gay, you came home, and your mama was like, look at Peaches, her hips are spreading, her titties is sitting up. Like, Robert, you don't think she pregnant? Who pregnant? To me, you was here, didn't you?" I said, "Daddy, I didn't know." Sitting there on the picture, full of baby. I had no idea.
I refused to let anybody take a picture of me pregnant.
Well, I didn't know.
I looked like an alien.
What's your biggest surprise ever?
My biggest surprise ever is not Armand. I kind of knew. It was. I don't know. I guess the boys. They a few years ago for Mother's Day, they did a rap for me. And then this before you used to videotape it. Now I wish I would have videotaped it because now I never get that cuteness back. I never get. It's a fan on you that heater turn. You can turn on the fan, but I never get that back because Armand was rapping, Aiden was rapping, and Kai was beatboxing, and they were saying stuff like I was the best mom. I did, and I was like,
I think my biggest surprise was
cry.
my dad died when I was 2, and so I didn't know my grandmother for years, and it was just a story that went around about, it was just a horrible story. And so for years, I would always think about her or say, like I just felt like a piece of me was missing because he was gone, and I knew his 2 older brothers, my uncles, but I didn't know my grandmother, none of my other family. And I convinced my sister to go on this little scavenger hunt to find her. And we actually got a number, and it was to my aunt, who later on told us that she had kept her number, had been the same for 25 years, and people would always tease her, and she said she would never change her number. And I remember we called on a 3-way, and before she picked up the phone, my sister was like, hang up. I was like, no. She's like, well, what are you going to say? I was like, I don't know. And by the time I said that, she was like, oh. And I was like, this is going to sound a little weird, but I think you're my aunt. And she was like, huh? I was like, my dad died, and I gave her a name, and she just started screaming. She's like, hold on. And she would give my grandmother, my uncles, everything. And then about a couple of months later, we went out and visited them. And we were coming down an escalator in Oakland at the airport, and it was nothing but family. It was almost like,
nice.
what's the, Antoine Fisher? That's
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then about three months later, she died.
No.
And honestly, I looked like her, act like her, like it was just crazy. She was like the martyr of the family, all this stuff. And I was when they called and told me, because I just felt like, okay, now, and I would call all the time and stuff, and they called and told me she died. I mean, I lost it. But yeah, that was one of my biggest surprises. I got to meet her, yeah.
You got to meet her.
Good.
My grandmother's still alive. Both my grandfathers have been. Okay, one more. What age would you want to remain for the duration of your life? You could pick an age.
Oh. I was trying to guess.
What about you?
Probably about 30.
30?
25. The age I've been for the last 2 years.
I can't.
25.
30.
30? I think I'll stick in somewhere in between that. I would love to if you know how sometimes you could be like, if you could reset the clock, some people go back to like 18, and I wouldn't go that far.
No.
Yeah. I would probably go to about 25,
I was so
30.
stupid at 18.
Girl,
I think-
stupid.
But would you retain your mind that you have now? That you
Yes.
could just go back and age.
Right, but that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. If you could go back in age and you couldn't do that, I still would kind of do 30.
I would still
I
do
do
30.
25.
Yeah, right.
I would still do 30.
All right, let's do a little recap.
Oh, now we
Oh,
finna
wait,
get
before
in.
you do that, guess who else shares your birthday?
Nene Leaks.
Yeah.
And Jamie Foxx.
Mm-hmm.
And who else?
Taylor Swift. She's 29 today.
Oh.
Dick Van
Dick Van
Dyke.
Dyke?
Mm-hmm. He turned 93 today.
His wife still 47. Guess who
crazy.
shares my birthday?
No.
Barack Obama. Well,
Ooh,
not my
wow.
birthday. Damn, God, today my birthday. He is August something. He a Leo.
Like for real. You just had to have something, right?
She
Shut
can have
up.
some.
No, she can't. How about you and your birthday?
Yeah, I
Okay.
share.
His birthday ain't even the same day as hers. So
He a Leo. That's all I meant.
Y'all share
All
the
right,
same
recap.
sign.
Oh my God, this has been the worst week for me for news and women. I just feel like that Miller was right.
You better not.
That Miller was right. Let's start with this one. Gender equality we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
This week, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, she's been getting
You
black.
have to type
Huh? No, you can
Okay.
talk.
that. Eb said happy birthday.
Thanks,
Okay.
Eb, sir. She's the missing link.
And so, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, they've been criticizing her, saying that she's a fraud because she's the youngest woman elected to Congress. But when Paul Ryan was the youngest man elected to Congress, why they praised him as being a genius?
So how is she a
Gender-
fraud?
No, I'm
Just
saying
because she a
that-
woman?
No, yeah, gender equality. We're talking about gender equality.
Yeah, no,
So as a
I get
woman, she's a fraud coming in at 28, and when he came in at 28, they praised him for being a genius for the same milestone. Can we be equal? Can we be equal? And she told him, she was like, we did the same thing.
Yeah. You want more?
Oh, no, good.
Oh no, so that's one part of it. Do you want to move on? You ain't got to listen.
No, go ahead.
Good. A jury recommends that the man who rammed his car into a crowd of people
Yeah.
Oh,
during the
he got all
Unite the
them
Right
years.
rally in Charlottesville in
He did.
2017
Yes, he did.
to spend life in prison plus
Oh.
419 more years.
Yeah.
that's like stumping somebody and then just grinding.
That's like you finna go to jail. Your children finna go to jail.
Yeah.
Your
You will never
grandchildren.
see like
That's what
Your
I'm
great
saying.
grandchildren.
So
Your
I-
great.
I don't understand when they get life and then they get life again.
That
It's
means
like
you ain't
use
never-
a-
you
when you
never
come back,
grow.
reincarnated.
It's
No.
not necessarily that. They have
They
to do
just
that
make
because
it
of
a
the
statement.
crime. So
Yeah.
like what he did.
For each
For
person's
each
life.
count that
Right.
he got,
Yeah.
that he got the max. So yeah, I agree with you with that, but that's why it gets done like that.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's
Because some
crazy,
people,
yeah.
so
Yeah,
if
one
one
more.
thing overturns, then guess
Right.
what? Then they can still keep.
Oh,
doing
'cause the other
something else
counts.
or
Okay.
whatever. Yeah, because it's not double jeopardy.
Well, and then what's
You want me to
so
drink, Keisha?
what's so crazy though about this is one of the white supremacist guys said it's about to be a war. If he get convicted, it's gonna be a war. I just want to know. I'm a black woman. You're a black woman. All of us in here, black women. How many of y'all scared of him and his war?
Okay, so he said it's gonna be a war.
So what
Wow.
have we been going through already?
I know.
Yeah, okay, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, you ain't. He want us to be scared. He tried to scare that if he's convicted, we're gonna have a war.
Well,
He's convicted.
he better
You know who
simmer
he
down
sounds
because
like?
our people are
Sound like
already
Trump
ready to
with the bullying and
revolutionize.
Yeah.
trying
Yes.
to throw the threat
And
out
you
there.
can't bully
or
us.
try to put the
No,
thing
no,
in
no.
people's mind like,
'Cause we
I get
already
convicted,
sitting on ready
let's
for
go to
revolution.
war.
They say
Yeah.
We already on the verge of a revolution. He better go on somewhere.
Oh, you ain't had no.
Wait, and
why you
that's
tell
why
me?
my husband was like, yeah, if the revolution comes, we need to be ready, y'all.
Oh, we ready.
I told my students, I said, you guys got to stop being so passive. Like,
Yes.
know what's
Right.
going on in the world,
Yes.
understand what's going on, because it is this for real deal stuff. You
Yeah,
got a
and it's
president
only gonna
that's
get
doing crooked
worse.
stuff that could be impeached.
Right.
You got all this stuff going on with just the killing and the people who are angry and all, I mean, like he stirred the pot, and then he always want to hide his hands after he's
Oh,
thrown
they
the
finna
stuff.
get
And you know,
But these
I'm
were
wondering
good people.
why he
Don't
hasn't been
forget,
impeached
y'all.
already.
These are good people. According 45 said these some good people on both sides.
Now the
You
woman
think
was,
he's a good person?
Yeah, you only that's say it. But and this is the thing. This man rammed his car into a crowd
On
of
purpose,
people
right.
Purposely.
and killed
Intentionally.
one lady
right,
and injured many more.
right.
And it's like, dude, I have no sympathy for you.
No, absolutely not.
So
Not
yeah,
one
he
drop.
got life.
Yeah,
Next subject, you ready?
I'm ready. Go ahead.
So Stormy is to pay Trump for his legal fees after her defamation case was dismissed. $293,000. And I guess what we need to be clear is the defamation case. That means that she's saying that he defamed her character.
Yeah.
And again, I say Bette Midler is right, because what the judge said was that this is Trump's tweet that she brought him to court about. A sketch years later about a non-existent man, a total con job, playing the fake news media for fools, but they know it. That's what he said about Stormy, that, you know, she made up this sketch. And I'm saying, so she sued him for that, but the case got thrown out, and the judge said that he ruled in October that Trump's statement was rhetorical hyperbole. What is rhetorical? Or rhetorical hyperbole.
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 Rhetorical hyperbole.
No more
So
drinking for
rhetorical
you.
is
Okay.
no, rhetorical is just your language.
Yeah,
Right.
against
It's an
a.
exaggeration. So he's saying it was basically an
A question that she
exaggerated.
didn't really.
Okay, and I'm glad y'all fixed that.
Hyperbole.
Against a political adversary, and was protected
Adversary.
or adversary. Adversary.
That's not the same. It's
Adversary. And was protected speech under
That's
and
why you do
protected
math,
speech under
'cause
the
you all
First
know me with the
Amendment.
math, but,
No problem. And it was protected speech under the First Amendment. So if it's a political adversary, how's it political adversary?
Meaning that they were, what was happening was they were against each other.
Yeah.
That's
But
what happened.
politically.
Right.
'Cause
They
he's
were
the president.
Right. So it was one
I
of those
didn't get
things
that.
where
No, I'm talking about I didn't get that
Because
it was
he says-
political.
Yeah, I didn't.
against a political.
No, I didn't get that
No,
it was
it was
political.
against the political adversary. So that means that he
Oh,
was saying
against
that,
him.
right? That she was
He's
charging
political.
against him only because he was the president. That's the only reason why she was doing this.
Oh, but so that's why I was thrown out. But I'm just saying it has nothing to do with the campaign funds or any of that. This is the lawsuit that they got. And Michael Avenatti, got that right, tweeted that they're going to go to appeal.
Okay.
So it's not anything to do with anything.
All right.
So did y'all see the video of the North Carolina sheriff's deputy that jumped the two girls, and they were white girls, teenage girls?
What? No, girl.
No.
He so he saw their car, and this, I don't get these police officers.
What you
Pulled
mean?
them over
Uh-huh.
and was like, the music was loud. He thought might have been drugs. He snatched them out, did all this extra, and so the little
Okay, so this whole thought might have been drug thing. Like, what led him to pull them over?
music
it got-
loud.
Was this a black cop and the white girls, or a white cop and black girls?
white
No.
cop and white girls?
Why are we talking about gender? We're saying that.
No, she asked me.
Oh.
It was a white cop with white girls.
Oh, okay.
And so the two girls, so one of them was like 14, so she pulled her camera out. You know, she was like, and you know how people do, they videoing.
Right.
When he saw the video, he went bananas
What?
and tried to snatch the video from him, and he jumped them. And what they got on video is he slammed both of these girls down. Now, he never arrested them,
He probably didn't have his body cam on.
I was just
but
thinking
she
it
had
was
a
body
video.
cam on.
Girl, child, why would you
As
have your
soon as
body
that video
cam
hit the
there?
ground and she hit the ground, it was still recording.
Yeah.
Right.
And so he never arrested them. And he's on paid leave.
Of course, they always are.
Well, that's the way. I mean, like,
But the law in North Carolina, which it said it is legal to film police officers
It's
in
legal
North Carolina
everywhere.
as long as it's a public space and you are not interfering with police work.
It's
Public.
legal everywhere.
well, okay,
Yeah.
that's what he's trying to say. She was interfering. That's
No,
what I'm saying.
no,
She was
that ain't what he
interfering
was
with
saying.
what- oh.
Well,
he just didn't want
slammed
to be
them.
No,
recorded.
no,
He
okay.
don't wanna-
No, but that, okay. Okay. What am I doing? Oh,
Well, I'm just glad it's another race getting
yeah. And,
Well, you know what? I think
but
that's
it's-
like what we were talking about with Jada, just women, period. Like,
That's
I feel
what
like
we saying about
we had
Bette Midler.
Carlos the cop
Oh.
on, and he was talking about how to keep safe, and he was saying how, you know, just what to do and different things like that. And I think if they would have driven to a place where there were more people, he may not have been able to do
Yeah.
that. Like, and then he was like, call while you're driving. And call 911 and tell them, say, hey, this officer is following me. I'm on such, and then they can dispatch him and tell them.
Go to
tell them that.
Walmart.
To kind of
Somebody always in a
de-escalate it
Walmart.
before it even
I said,
gets
somebody
to-
pull me over. I'm driving. They
Right.
got
Oh, I
about
drive
8
to
cop
Wales.
cars
Don't
behind
just
me.
drive.
Call and
Oh, I'm
say-
calling,
Yeah,
but I'm
let 'em know what
driving
you're doing.
to a
I'm not
well-lit
saying- yeah,
place.
that's
Like,
what you
yeah,
do.
like you're not trying to evade.
Don't be by yourself, yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the bigger thing. Like he probably felt like he could just manipulate them because
They were kids.
Yeah.
I'm
They
like,
were
I'm
kids,
scared.
and
There's
that's
about
the other
8 cop
part.
cars behind me.
And one already said her back hurt. She about to get
So we
paid.
got this
Oh,
one
that's gonna-
teacher in Virginia who,
But you know, no good.
yeah, he's gonna lose his job because he doesn't want to use the preferred pronoun that this transgender student wants. So the transgender student is transferring from a male to a female, and so when he refers to the student, he uses the pronoun he and him, and he wants it to be her and she. And so he says that he gonna fall on the sword on that. He not doing it.
Is he a Christian? Is that why?
I don't know. I didn't go.
Well, and this is my problem with that. Call people what they tell you to call them. Don't call me what you want to call me. And that goes back
Right.
to being disrespectful. If I say I prefer you call me him, then that's my preference. Don't call me what you
Right.
want to call me. If he's made it known his preference, do that. It's none of your business.
But why would I'm just wondering, how does he know he's transgender? I mean, did he?
Because he's one of his students. I guess he's
Yeah, so then
transgendering
he-
in
you know,
through
like
his
he could
school
be
year.
dressing like a girl and all that kind of stuff.
But
It's a shame. But
It's
they can't technically have any.
Because you know,
insurance or
sometimes
anything.
now if they dress up, you can't tell. You know what I'm
Honey,
saying?
I was
what
telling
sex they are, and you
Yeah.
just call them by their name.
Right.
Well, and what's so funny is we was talking about they was talking about letting transgenders into the Miss America beauty pageants. I was like, they
They're
would
already
win.
in there.
I told them they would win.
They're
they
already
be
in
beat-
there.
Baby, they be beat and laid. You don't know what
Makeup.
you doing. But my
I
thing
think
is
I'm
that it's a
following
lack
the
of
sword with him.
disrespect.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't
a
think
lack
it's
of disrespect.
disrespectful.
I think it is.
Okay, so
Yeah.
my
I don't
opinion is that
either.
it's not disrespectful. I feel as though
But if
just the
somebody
same-
asks you to
Well,
call
but
them
here's the
Miss
deal, though.
Keisha, and you do
Keisha.
Mr. Keisha,
Oh, Keisha.
Mr. Keisha, Mr. Keisha, but you
But
say,
you said
can
Miss
you call me
Keisha.
Miss Keisha, Mr. Keisha,
I don't
Mr.
think that's the
Keisha?
same.
I think
And
if go ahead.
Go ahead.
The reason why I don't feel that's the same is because if they're addressing me as a female and saying Miss Keisha, whatever the case may be, because I am a woman, okay?
Yeah.
I feel as though sometimes, and this has just been my thing with the whole transgender community. Sometimes I feel like there are opportunities where they take advantage of everybody's rights. So I was watching a program one time and the guy was on there and the woman's husband had said that he really doesn't like it when a man fools to be a woman, because you're out in the clubs, his friends doing whatever, and then they wait till they then talk to you up on the phone for a couple of months and have all these text messages and everything, and then say, oh, you like the man, and blah 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 blah, and clown them, when really, like you said, they're dressing like women, they're doing all this kind of stuff, and you don't know, and you not one bone in your body saying that you want to be with a man, not even a man trying to be a woman. And so those are kind of like his comments. And so the one transgender man went off on his wife when he was around her and did this whole big old scene about it because a comment her husband made. Well, just the same way it is your choice to choose what you want to do,
They do
it's that individual's choice to do that too. And I'm like, where do you draw the line with that?
Well, and that's the line that we're talking about, because what you just said about this whole scenario about a husband and wife and people find out about the transgender later. This story here is talking about a person who's transgendering
Who asked to
and
be
asked to be
called.
called by the gender
Yeah.
that they recognize.
Or just call me
and
by
this
my
is-
name.
But this the thing.
If I pick Brittany, call me Brittany.
Call me Brittany. But this is the thing, like, I don't get with people. How is that offending you when I tell you what I
Yeah.
like
You don't
to be
have to
called?
get it.
That's a
You don't have to
no,
get it just the same way.
No, let
and
me
I'm saying
finish
on
what I
both
was-
sides. You don't have to get it if it offends me the same way I don't have to get it if it offends you. Nobody's
But
gonna
be
get
res-
that.
but be respectful.
I feel
Be
the same way.
respectful.
Like what you sitting up here
Be
saying is
respectful.
on both
But I
sides.
don't
You
think
ain't got
it's
to get it.
disrespectful. Like
I
for
do.
me personally, I'm like this. If God when you first came out, God created you to be a man, then you are a man. Whether you feel like in your mind you relate to being a woman, or feel that you, because God makes no mistakes. You know what I'm saying? So if you were born a man, you were meant to be a man.
But did God create everything?
But hold
Yes.
on, let's be clear. Everybody don't worship your God.
I get
Yeah,
that. but
hold on.
Let me finish.
Let me
Well, there's
clear.
only one
That's no, but I'm saying everybody
Let me
don't
finish.
worship him.
Let me
But
finish.
let's be
Not
clear
fair.
for the individuals.
Right.
When the individual, regardless of your
One God.
religion,
But I
when
get
they
that.
as their person in their
Yeah.
space, respect their person and their space, respect their religious choice,
I know.
respect their sexuality,
How
respect
is it
them.
that what you're sitting here saying, Keisha? And this
Yeah.
is what I want you to 1 second.
Just
Maybe if this is the
pause
one
for-
time you do it in your life, open up your mind to hear exactly what you're saying. If you want somebody to respect that on one end,
It gotta go both ways.
it's got to go both ways. So if I'm feeling a certain way, that is my opinion. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
My Christian beliefs, whether you believe in my
Or
God or
not, or
not,
whether-
those are my
exactly.
choices. So somebody's going, based on what you're saying, somebody going to lose.
No,
I think
I don't think
it
it's
is.
a
But
win
if
lose.
he's a Christian, you
It's
should
not
love everybody,
let me-
and if
But
you
it's
can
not
love
about not
everybody,
loving you.
He didn't
It's
say he
about
didn't love
I
you.
would never be disrespectful though. So
Okay,
if you be like,
then
hey,
he
my
has to
name,
be
I
called
asked to be
that.
called
That's
Keon.
the
what she
point.
said.
That's the point that we make.
I'm gonna be like, okay, well, Keisha, I don't agree with your choices. Now, if that means we don't have any communication anymore, whatever, because I have a problem with that.
Well, I will tell you this.
I would just
This is
be like,
about a
This is
teacher
a
and a
situation
student.
that
This
happened
is
to
a-
me.
but
Let me
this
tell you
is
what
a-
happened to
but
me.
this
Hold
is
on,
your
let me tell you what happened to
teacher.
me. Because I was
Okay.
raised with women and men, and I say he or I say she. Okay, so I had a student who had, was trying to identify herself as something else,
Right.
and when I would go to call on her, I would say that. Now, I wasn't deliberately
Yeah.
trying to do whatever. She's a girl, so I would say that. Now, sometimes I may catch myself, and I would, I was thoroughly confused. This was about 10 years ago, and she, wanted to be addressed with these pronouns. Not a name, but just the pronouns. And when I'm sitting there and I'm teaching and I'm calling on somebody and I'm looking, I'm doing whatever, I can honestly say for myself, it was never intentional
Right.
that I didn't do that. It was just, she a girl. So when I'm talking and I'm moving around, I go, all right, boo, you do it. Or, hey, or blah, blah, blah. Or she's going to tell us. And it takes more for me to think about calling her something else when I am sitting there and I'm teaching or whatever. So I don't know to the degree of which this teacher, and I put that in there, and I don't know to the degree of which he decided to or not to or whatever.
Right.
And I mean, maybe it wasn't worth losing his job over, and he could have just
Well,
called him her
it
or whatever the
shouldn't
case
be.
may be.
Just
but-
respect. He should have just called the
Out
person
of
by the
respect,
name.
and I have
I
that
mean,
problem.
what
If
do you
I-
care
It
if
wasn't the
what the
name.
child's
It wasn't
gender
the
is? You're
name.
there to
It's the
teach them
pronoun.
anyway.
Right, but it
Yeah.
wasn't even the name.
And he's
It was-
already
it was the
confused.
pronoun.
Don't add to the confusion.
So and this is the thing. Whatever this
That's
child
true.
is going through, is this child's going through. And it does not
It is.
affect your religion. It does not affect you. When somebody say, I would like to be addressed a certain way. That's all it means. It's not, and when you was
Yeah.
talking about on both sides, that means I didn't ask you to be transgender like me. I didn't ask you to change your
'Cause you got a
pronoun.
lot more
I said
problems
when you
being
address
transgender.
me,
Right.
address me this way. That's it. If I say address me this way, address me this way. And that's only being respectful to that person as a human
We're going to
being.
agree
You know
to
what?
disagree.
Yeah,
So we're
Yeah.
moving
let's go
on.
to the next
Two
one.
nuns embezzled $500,000
Sure
from a
did.
California Catholic school and spent money on traveling and casino gambling.
And they
This
was
done
highly
over a period of a
respectable
year,
in the
And they
community.
asked for forgiveness.
Go back to that Christianity. They ask for forgiveness.
What?
No, I'm saying for Christians,
I
know,
get it.
they
Make
asking
your
for
point.
forgiveness.
They
Okay,
forgive 'em.
no, but this is the point I'm making. That ain't what I'm talking about.
What you
I
talking
was
about?
saying that
I get you.
I said because they nuns, now they want to ask for forgiveness after they stole all these folks' money. But
No,
this
everybody asked for. Bernie Madoff wasn't no nun.
but-
He was asking for forgiveness.
But
and he stole
let me be
trillions of
very
dollars.
clear about nuns. Y'all supposed to have nothing. Y'all not supposed to be worshiping. Y'all not supposed to be wanting things because you give up everything to be a nun. You're not supposed to buy anything. You're not supposed to want. But these are.
There
But
are
wait a minute.
degrees.
They're opposite.
They're not
yeah,
just,
different
those are
degrees.
nuns
But
in the
it's a-
convent.
But
those are
but
different
for
kind of nuns.
500.
Well, we're just trying to make sure that you understand that. instead of
Yeah, not
saying
every
that that's not
nun
true.
is
I went. Well,
give up
I went to a
everything.
Catholic school, and
There's
that's not how that went.
Different
Yeah,
types of nuns.
there are.
Yeah.
I forgot the
I'm
name
not,
of it.
I'm not debating that it's
Oh.
not different types of
Girl,
nuns.
say
I'm
your
just
point, 'cause you
the
not even
point.
listening. We just trying to tell you not to say that because that is not true. So why are you debating the fact that we just offering you
I'm
something
not
to say?
debating.
Okay, go
You
ahead.
debating with yourself
I
now.
am. You're right. Go ahead.
Exactly. So two nuns, as I said, two nuns. So when you're a nun, not saying that everybody give up everything. I'm just saying the part of being a nun mean that you're. I'm not saying.
Okay, go
please
ahead.
let me finish.
Make your comment.
God is supposed to be your number one thing. Is the point I'm trying to make. It ain't about the material things. You're supposed to put God above everything else. So when
But
you
that's not just particular to a nun, baby. That's every
no,
Christian.
but I'm saying as for them to be a nun. I'm not talking about. We're
Well,
just
you
talking
just
about the
talking
two
about like
nuns.
nuns and pastors. You should be at I guess.
I'm saying
You hold
right
them at a
here,
higher
the
standard
part where they're
sometimes,
nuns
maybe.
and they giving their life over to God. And I know that we do as Christians, but we're talking about these two nuns. And then they turn around, they're teaching, and they're using the money for traveling and gambling on top of it. It's just like, gambling? What do you care? So let's go back to addiction.
It's sin.
Gambling?
I mean,
no, but I'm
sin-
just saying, let's go back to
everybody got 'em.
addiction.
Some
What we
people
were
are overt
saying.
and some people are
So
not.
they were clearly addicted to gambling and how to
How much
get
was it
there.
again?
$500,000
greed.
over a number of years.
It's about greed. So it's almost like somebody who will go in. And we were just talking about this on Sunday, where I had a person to work for me when I worked for this company, and you know how you ban the singles into hundreds. Well, he would take 2, So you wouldn't really check that because they counted the same, and you won't
And
count
the
them. So when you go in,
band, right.
so when you go in the safe, you just go 100, 100, 100, right? But then 2 wasn't good enough, so he would get 3, and then if by the time he started getting 5 or 6, it would change the kind of the weight of it, which makes you then count them.
Yeah.
And so because he got greedy,
Right.
was the reason
He got
that he
caught.
got caught. Which is probably the same thing
With
that happened to
these
these
nuns.
jokers.
They
I mean,
idolize
right?
nuns.
Because you got-
that's how money will make you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
if
saying
you
at the
get
end of the
money,
day, they
root of all
human.
evil.
Whether they nuns or not, they human, and we all have different things that desires that entice us, and we all have different issues within ourselves. So whether they're human or not, it's no different than them being
nuns are
two
not.
nuns being in there, or me and you, and be like, "Oh, Kathy, we
Now,
get this
I'm
lick."
not.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not arguing that. I was just making the point that they
Yeah.
were nuns. And then in the part where they not only I was just making the
Yeah,
point
no,
that
I
they
get
were
what you're
nuns.
saying.
And I mean, because that was the story.
So how
Yeah.
did they get caught?
I don't know because I can't remember right now, but I can tell you this: it was done over a period of years. And the
Yeah.
part that's really funny is that people trust nuns.
Well, no, they
trusted
the
them
comment
with
they
this.
said on the news that those 2 nuns were highly esteemed within their
Yes,
Christian
they trust them.
um,
Let me walk up and they gonna count every
Diocese.
dime I got because they don't
Well,
trust
but
me.
I think about that in the same principle. Like if we're trying to do something, organize something with the way that you deal with money, how you do it, I would trust you. So then
Right.
if you went out and you were like,
Scheming
like,
on the back end.
what,
yeah.
wait a minute, this say 0. What happened? And they
No, but
don't
that, I
know.
mean that's the point. That was the story was that they were
So
nuns.
where from California, so they were crossing that line over to.
one in Nevada.
To Vegas trying to
And
They were
get
like,
that
we're
ching-ching.
going on a
Or the
spiritual
Mexico.
retreat.
No, a reservation.
Yeah, to
Oh, yeah,
them
right.
native,
Bingo
the Native
reservations.
Americans.
Yeah.
Because they got a lot of
crazy.
them in California.
Okay, so Pancho Claus. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, and it's kind of like a
But I
folklore
read it.
among Hispanic people,
Mhm.
and so he would play Pancho Claus to the Hispanic children for years, and him and his friends, they had these like historic Cadillacs, and they would ride in this parade, and Pancho Claus would make sure everybody got gifts. Well, apparently. The Cadillac delivery truck is kind of, he ran into some hard times with his health, and some other things started happening with him, and then people stopped kind of donating. And the kids it's more kids now than when he started this 20 years ago.
In
It's
Trump
40
America.
years ago, actually. So he's been doing this for 40 years, being Pancho
Oh, wow.
Claus. Yeah. And so he was talking about how he wants to continue the tradition. I thought that was kind of cool because he like dressed up. He looked like a pimp when he dressed up.
Pancho
And
Claus?
Pancho
I
Claus
just
had on
realized
a
what you
three,
said.
like a 3-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece red suit with the fedora, baby, with the feather, and he in there
Pancho
like
Claus.
with his drop top red Cadillac, baby, and was handing toys out. I was like, in my neighborhood.
But you know what? I heard
Where was
this
that at?
in California.
No, it was kind of that area, New Mexico area.
Okay. So in our area in Destin in Walmart, the ladies at work was telling me that 2 couples, it was 2 men, 2 women, went to Destin Walmart to layaway, and they had a stack of money, and
And
they
paid it
stood
off?
and was paying off people layaways. They asked how much is it, it was paid off, and so my coworker was saying one lady was standing in line and they paid off her layaway, but she said her face still looked mean and upset, and
Oh,
and she was like, I just couldn't tell why her spirit didn't change. Somebody
Yeah.
just paid
Pay
off
your
your
layaway?
layaway, and why you still got the south face? And I don't know what was going on with her, but they were laughing. They was like, Lakeisha, if they had paid off your layaway, I said, I'd have been
I know that.
all
I'm
right
like,
up in there.
Well, you know
Well,
what, and that's what
you never know what somebody's going through, though.
Well, some years ago, when I first moved here, we used to do that. Like, all the friends would get together, everybody get $50. Sometimes we get up to $600-700, and then find somebody and just walk in the
Give
place
it to
and do that. So we might need
You
to
know,
bring
Tyler
that back.
Perry did that. He went into
In
2
the
different
Atlanta.
Walmarts in Georgia. And
Yeah.
paid everybody's
Let me tell you, and somebody did in California, and I'm on the phone with my mama. Why can't nobody do that here?
I know that's right.
I said, Mama, do you have a layaway? No. Because she was saying it like the help up was like,
Yeah,
you don't even
Mama.
have a layaway.
All right, let's talk about some political news.
Oh,
Did you see that
Lord.
protest that's going on in Paris?
I heard about it.
It was over fuel increase, so they didn't want to increase that, and so they were out of the streets like straight crazy. And then they're not liking their current president; they're unhappy with him, and so it's been a lot. It's been a whole bunch of just.
That's democracy,
Turmoil.
though. You
Yeah.
don't like it, we get to protest.
Mhm.
So that's what we have.
There was this 8th grader that was waiting to go to school, got kidnapped by his brother, right? He stole the van that she was in, then raped and killed her, and then went to, I forgot where he got caught. He got caught doing something else, and they actually extradited him back because everybody was on the lookout for her and stuff. And he told them where to find her, and she was in a ditch.
Where was that at?
I can't remember, but it was just, I was sitting there watching, and I was just like, his name was Michael Ray McLean, and he
was an 8th grader?
No.
he was a
And
rapist.
that's
He
what
was
he
the guy
said.
that raped her.
Yeah, but it was a 34-year-old Michael May
And he
McLean.
raped the eighth
He
grader.
raped and killed an
The
8th grader who was waiting to go to school.
And I was just like, you know, you think about, and I was just telling my, one of our sorority sisters that, you know, she's raising her kids and they've just kind of gotten to high school, and knowing just that peace of mind that you have, and you don't, you know, that's like an invasion when somebody comes in, like just like if your home gets invaded or something. I mean, it just messes you up, like, you know.
Yeah.
So. Did you see that one with the teacher singing the national anthem and cutting that baby hair?
Ooh,
No.
Yes.
What?
Yes.
She was like, by the dawn's early, and the boy was just sitting there, and I thought
He was scared, he said.
He was scared, but I think also he didn't think she was really cutting his hair. But she grabbed his hair and just was like, ah! And I mean, was tossing it all over the place.
Oh.
And then she was chasing another girl with the scissors trying to cut her
And
hair.
then all the
Were they
other
black
kids.
kids?
No, they're
No.
white kids.
Oh.
But she actually had another incident in another school.
Yeah.
Yeah, then they said
Hey, can I
her
say
credentials
this, though,
was
y'all? Can I
taken
say
twice
this?
in the past. How she keep getting?
Wait. Beta didn't want to be on our show.
She
right?
showed her like say that, don't you?
Y'all got a lot to
Y'all,
say.
I watched the news. I watched the news.
That's why I keep looking at her like,
I watched the news.
Y'all got a lot to say.
Well,
Beta.
but you know what? Her credentials was taken twice in the past. How many times do you need your credentials taken before you realize she's a
Incidents
bad
like that,
teacher?
yeah.
she'd have got boxed out.
But you know, a lot of teachers, they move from schools to schools.
But
or
they need a
people,
better
not just
system,
teachers,
yeah.
nurses, doctors, and people don't really fully check their
Especially
accreditations
if
or
it's
their
a shortage or
credentials
whatever.
or ask why
Let
they
me
got
tell you
fired from
something.
the other
I don't
job.
know what county
They
they
won't-
going that
they
in,
don't
because
do
Okaloosa County, baby.
No, but they
Girl
do
Jackson
it. Oh,
used to
honey,
teach.
I know. Some of them with them fake PhDs. I told them people to get them PhDs in 8 weeks. And then they have their papers all nice and pretty.
Like I said, they know where to go, I guess.
A 23-year-old, this is why I say Bette Miller is on the money. A 23-year-old former college fraternity president accused of rape in Texas will avoid prison time and a lifetime on the sex offender list. He's not even going to be listed as a sex offender.
What, lifetime? So he will get listed, but
No.
he will have to stay, right?
No, he would not. Once you are convicted, you're supposed to be on there for a lifetime. He would never be on there. That's what
He doesn't have to be
That's
on
he
what
never
he
was
found.
convicted?
No, he did no contest. He did a plea deal, so he won't be on the lifetime.
So pause. If he did a plea deal, shame on her attorney.
No,
Exactly.
it ain't her attorney. It's the state.
Yeah.
It's not her personal attorney. It's the actual state
I
that
know.
bring the case. I'm saying it's
But
the
the lawyer
government.
could have included
So
that
pause
in
for a
part of the
second.
deal.
So I used to actually do that, be an advocate when I was in college
Yeah.
for women. And that was the one thing that you have to be very careful of who you elect in those positions for those district attorneys and stuff because of that fact. If they feel like they cannot prove a case, when I was in college, this was in Illinois in the 80s, there were over 67% of the cases that never made it with enough evidence because the state attorney did not want his record to be lowered just in case.
He didn't make it.
Well, and that's the point. And let's get back to this story. After accepting a plea deal that his dismayed accuser publicly lambasted him,
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
is that she said, "I am devastated by your decision to let my rapist, Jacob Walter Anderson, go free
Oh, I
without
know.
any punishment." She said in her letter to the court, "He stole many things from me the night he raped me. I would never be the same again."
Right.
So this is the thing. He's a frat boy, and he's the president of the frat house. You know what? I better. Thank you. And not only is he avoiding jail time, he's avoiding being put on a sex offender. It's just like it never happened.
Well, and that's and I'm going from the experience I've had with that when the incident happened with the evidence with everything, and you lay this case out in front of them. Again, it's the district attorney's choice on whether or not they will prosecute them or not, and then it's based on the evidence. And sometimes, and this is one thing that I just even want to say as women, you know, and it goes to the fact that like a lot of times we just feel like, you know, nobody's gonna hear us, nobody's gonna do whatever. I know it's hard. I know you're upset. I know you don't want to go to the hospital and have somebody keep poking and prodding on you after you've done that. But all those things are so important. And so there were girls, because we have to wear the little pages at the time, and it was like the hotline. And what would happen is they would call, and they would be so frantic to not want to go to the hospital to do anything, and we would try to encourage them to, because if they didn't go, and they could know the person, but there's not enough evidence. So you can point them out, you can do all of that, but when they go to court, and we keep telling, he's like, no, and they was like, but I don't want people, and we get it, and we know this is a trying time for you, because one girl literally called, and it was like 2 minutes after it happened, and we had to help her get to the, we kept encouraging her, and initially she didn't want to go. She wanted to go home, take a shower, do it. It was like, no, we need, and I know it seems, and it would seem pretty insensitive, because it was more, they wouldn't let guys do it, the women did it, but if we didn't do that, and they went home and washed away evidence, did whatever, they kind of, it's sickening that you had to go through.
They also said it was the judge. That judge was
that's
very
what
light with the sentences.
And let me say this.
Whatever,
it
was
even
the judge's decision to have that light sentence.
There you go. For the plea deal,
plea
deal and the sentencing and all of that, it all was in favor of the white male. And the female at this point, it's just like what happened to her was her fault, or it's just like you'll never see justice. Because, and I'm going to tell you what I've heard some of them say is, we don't want to mess up his life for this.
Well, yeah, they have
you
to.
see what I'm saying?
College students.
Oh, he's a frat boy. He's got a life. Why would we mess his life up when he made the decision to take away somebody's right to their own body? So at this point, it's like women. What are we? The bottom of the shoe.
Did they have that stipulation though? Like, were you saying you worked at, because they used to have it where even though she would go and put the evidence in there, she had like maybe 2 years.
You talking about statutory?
To actually want to bring charges against them,
right?
It wasn't her choice.
Okay.
In state Illinois,
it's up to the DA. No, it's up to the DA whether
like you get the evidence, because
I could sue him for money.
Right.
But for him to go to jail,
criminally, it has to go to the district attorney.
Okay.
So another story, and it gets worse. In South Sudan, wrapping an arm around her stomach, the young woman hung her head and recounted the day in early November when she and a friend were bound, dragged into the bush, and raped by 4 men with guns. This is in Sudan, and the women and girls are being raped and tortured while traveling by foot 24 miles away. 11 hours it takes them to walk to get food for UN aid. So what they're saying is that they're going, they're trying to get food, and on that path, these men are just raping women, walking, trying to get food. And it's like, what do you do? And this girl is telling her story. And you got to have food, and you got to go 11 hours to get there. What are we doing? What are we doing?
That's the harsh reality to it. That's so true.
And another story about another 17-year-old girl.
Well, and the guy, she's 6 months pregnant. He finds out about it. He's a football player. She's a cheerleader, and he kills her.
See, I told you what you're
But see, and so this is what happened. He calls her. So he hadn't talked to her in months after she told him she was pregnant.
He raped her and she got pregnant?
No.
They were in a relationship.
They were in a relationship.
together.
And so he decides he know how to fix it. He calls her and tells her, meet me at somewhere at 11 p.m. And she tells her mom, I'm going to meet him at 11 p.m. About 3 a.m. she ain't showed up. Her mom goes to his house going, she never showed up to the meeting. He's just lying and lying. Then they find her body and all of this stuff. And so I read the comments. And the comments go, what mother let her 17-year-old out at 11 p.m.? I was like, I guess for me, it would have been come to my house at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Don't go meet him in the middle of the night.
I agree with that.
Because at first he's irresponsible with the fact that he dropped you when you
Right.
told him he
And
was
I'll
pregnant.
say, I mean,
and that was some
that's
of.
not putting any blame.
No, it's
on-
not
on
blame,
the
it's
mom,
just
but
saying-
it's just the fact of being responsible. You ain't leave my house 11 o'clock at night, do nobody. Get him on the phone. He can come back here. What you got to say?
Yeah, and because he need to say it
I mean,
in
he
the
could've
house.
said- He could
Don't
have
mean-
killed that 10
Oh,
o'clock.
one father, if we finna meet, it's finna be me and you and his mom and dad. It ain't just
Right.
finna be
Yeah.
Let
no
me
kids
tell you-
meeting at 11 o'clock. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
His name is
probably why
Aaron, and he
Which is why
said.
she was pregnant.
Well, his name is Aaron, and he said
Wasn't
he
he like
had
a
been
football pro
he had
or
been
Yeah,
contemplating
football
it for a week on how he was gonna kill her.
Mhm.
He had been contemplating it for a week, so he's been plotting to
Oh,
kill
that's
your
definitely
daughter.
premeditated.
And it's like, but yeah, it's premeditated. But I'm saying, so when he called you out of the blue and says, "Let's meet," ladies, listen to me. If he's slimy and he's dropped you and he called you out the blue saying, "Meet me in the middle of the night," with that just by yourself, no, I'll meet you at a restaurant.
I'm not meeting you at
No, I'm just saying, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I
be
get
more,
you.
be
Be more.
smarter. You can come and meet me and my mama.
By
Yeah,
11
be
o'clock,
smart.
I'm gonna put some pajamas on and
Don't meet anyway.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right, so there's a 20-year-old woman. I know everybody's seen that video where the police, she was telling them that they were taking her baby.
oh my God, y'all.
What did Bet say?
Well, I work for the Department of Human Services.
Is this our guest
So-
again talking that didn't want to be on the show?
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. What'd you say? Speak louder so the
Guest
so
about to
that they can
pass
hear
out.
you.
Leave that guest alone.
Come on,
Guest
guest.
about
They
to-
need to hear you.
Guest that threw up the hallelujah hand.
Offer some advice on this. I mean, I worked for the DCFS when I was still in Chicago, but I didn't do that side of it. I was more on the getting kids adopted
She-
and licensed in foster homes. That's what I did.
She was arrested for refusing to leave a social service center.
Yeah, there was nowhere for her to sit, so she sat on the floor.
She was standing there for
Yeah, I
4
heard about
hours.
you.
She
Yeah.
got tired and she sat on the
And
floor.
they called the
So you're
police.
arrested for sitting on the floor?
And
Because
snatched
they
the
said
baby.
she was
Snatched the baby.
saying that she was causing basically
a scene by sitting on the floor.
Yeah, and then the police made it worse, which I think how high strung she got about it was because like she felt I come here, this is what
I need
she's
help.
getting right, and then this is how I get treated. And I just feel like, the people who work there, that's where it starts. Like at one point we were talking about that in the school system. You know, sometimes you can walk into a building and your first encounter is with somebody
Yeah.
who just and so here was my thing. My thing was there's so many people of color who barely got out of high school or didn't. And your kids are having some concerns, and so you want to come to the school to get help, and your first encounter with somebody who's nasty and mean and treats you like you nothing, and
Condescending
you already
and
walking
belittling.
up in there feeling kind of anxious anyway because you didn't graduate or whatever.
Right.
And it's like those are the ones who you need to pay more attention to. One, so we can stop the cycle, and then two, because they need it. And in this situation,
She needed
everybody
help.
needed
She
it.
didn't need to be arrested and her baby
Help,
taken away.
snatch her own.
Give her help. On a lighter note, finally,
Well,
whew,
she's out of
Jesus,
jail though.
this was too.
Yeah.
That was
They
too
dropped the
heavy.
charges.
This was too heavy. Yeah, but after you done put me through all this.
Mm-hmm.
But on a lighter note, Fashion Nova is
yeah.
is the
They got
most
it in
popular
all
brand
raps
for
and everything.
20.
They talk about that.
And
all the time.
I was like, what is Fashion Nova?
Really? You didn't know?
I know
Yeah.
it's in
Them
rap, but I'm
young
like, I've
girls
never
be on
seen
that
any
Fashion
Fashion
Nova,
Nova.
baby. They be on
What
it.
does it look like? It looks like some
it's
stuff
like-
I wouldn't wear.
It's like a cross between
Yeah.
like Rainbow and Old Navy.
Oh, stop.
Kind of, yeah. So if you're trying to
More
hit it and quit it
rainbow.
with one, more rainbow than anything, yeah. So it's like if you want, when you were 15 and you had that snatch body and you could put on anything that
Yeah.
didn't matter. Now you should be squeezing your
Fashion
butt if
Nova,
any of that Fashion
no,
Nova ain't
good.
your plus size.
No.
I'm just saying. So everybody, I mean, and that's what
I mean,
happens. It's almost like how
yeah.
Old Navy got popular. It's almost how, right? A lot of them. It's like here are the trends. We can bring them at a lower cost. Won't be of the
And
same
it still be
quality,
cute.
but yeah.
But they said the retailer produces clothing faster than Zara.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
they-
the other one.
Yeah, so they saying they can get it out there to you.
And then you got
Well,
all
you
these
know when they
celebrities
produce
with
them.
these Fashion Nova endorsements. Cardi B,
Yeah.
But Cardi B is one of the main ones, baby.
man on Instagram promoting them.
Right. Fashion
Yeah, but
Nova,
she
baby.
get paid, baby, for that Fashion Nova. And the
Old fashioned
the company,
Nova.
who owns the company, the CEO of the company is Richard Saiyan.
Mm-hmm.
I hope I got his name right, since I ain't been getting nothing right tonight. But yeah, the notorious private CEO.
Yeah.
So he's private, but they making money, baby. They making
Fashion
money.
Nova been
moves.
busting.
Yeah, they are
They've
in. Yeah.
been busting.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying they are the
Yeah.
number one for
One, yeah.
2018. So that's the news. 50 Cent has put his 2 cents in the Cardi B and Offset breakup.
You know, he just makes my butt itch.
Don't he make my butt itch?
Yeah, I mean, the innermost crack of my butt itch. I can't control it.
Oh,
I cannot stand
I thought that
him.
was just me, Peaches.
No.
I can't stand him
Made me feel
either.
like I got
No.
gnats in the crack of my butt.
Oh.
Like I can't stand him.
So 50 said he tweeted that Cardi B should take that man back because he loves her. Was he loving her
when
he
she was out here slipping and sliding,
was he loving her when he was trying to have a threesome with 2 other women that wasn't Cardi B? His wife. Was he loving her then? I just want to know, was that love?
Well, I'm gonna go back to something you said. Cardi B knew what she was getting.
that is true too.
And guess what? And Cardi B
just saying.
divorcing him.
Wow.
So let's go back to what we said.
I'm
She
saying
didn't
she
drop
knew what she was
Offset, so she knew what she was getting, and now she done dropped. And why is 50 Cent involved?
Cause 50 just ain't got no life, and he just not got to be in everybody's business.
Because you know
he
all
petty.
his baby mamas and got tired of him, so he got to move on to
He
somebody
gotta go
else's baby
move on
mama.
somebody
I need
else.
him to get. I'm moving on. I'm gonna move on from that. Y'all heard about the Indian wedding in India with one of the world's richest man, Mukesh Ambani. Anybody know that? His daughter had the big pre-wedding ceremony. They had Beyonce as in this pre-wedding, not the real wedding. It was
saw
the,
it on Instagram.
which featured a performance by Beyonce, and they had guests like Hillary Clinton, Nick Jonas, and Priyanka Chopra.
So Beyonce's doing Sweet 16, wedding.
Pre-celebration
For the Indian
and you
people?
just imagine, and he spent $100 million on that wedding, so I can tell you Beyonce got paid for
I ain't
for
say
an
that.
hour
Hey,
for an
Jay-Z
hour.
said,
So.
I ain't going to no stadiums. We don't need
You
that
need
money.
me.
So
No,
just
you
curious.
need me. I don't need you.
Right. I do want to go back with a comment one of my girlfriends sent to me, Barack Obama made on Twitter. And he says, as Bobby Kennedy taught us, the thing about hope is that it travels through space and time, first splashing against the rocks, but eventually breaking down the walls of cruelty and injustice. And if we do our best with the time we've given, others will take hope in our example. And I think that he I just miss him.
Oh.
He rises above. And even though he may have not made the best decisions all the time,
Politically,
he was just a
Who
gentleman.
does?
You know what I'm saying? He was just a gentleman. And I just want that back. Like,
You want class in the White House. I get it. So
As you should.
health and wellness.
I'm like,
Too bad we ain't got class.
okay, so it was in West Alabama, in Linden, Alabama. And I was it was a little black girl. And she was getting bullied, and there were racist comments about her as well. And so her mom moved her to another school in Demopolis. And 9 years old, she hung
She
herself.
killed herself. But like,
If
my
y'all
question
don't
is,
build our black girls up
Just
and
children,
stop letting
period.
people tell them that they are ugly or whatever,
She was
because I'm gonna
bullied.
tell
Now,
you,
she was being bullied. She talked to the principal and her teachers, and
the adults failed her. Let's tell the truth. The adults failed her. I have a 10-year-old niece, honey, and she knows she the prettiest thing in the world.
but my thing
'Cause
is,
I
like, at
told
9
her.
years old, how do you know that the solution to this problem is to kill yourself? Because when I was 9 or 10 years old, I was still playing with Barbie dolls, and somebody said something to me, I automatically went back. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
in this day and
everybody
age,
don't
how
have
do
that.
you?
well, you know,
Why
and
is
we were
that?
actually talking
You
about
ain't-
this though. You got to think about
Everybody
in a room
can't
full
take
of
it.
women. Just if we take 10 women, only 5 of us gonna have the self-esteem.
And the
The
gumption to defend
self-confidence.
I mean, yeah.
Just that, I mean, and then there are some of us that go overboard with. I mean, it's
Right.
just one of those things where it's like,
Not enough.
and they don't realize how sensitive and that one
Right.
thing. Like she could have kept going to that and going to that, and never felt like she could have a way out. Or
I guess my thing is that, like, at 9 years old, like, you
9.
still a baby. How?
no,
and
but
then
now
too,
hold
the
on. Our
concept
9
of-
years old is different from today's 9-year-old.
But you know what?
It is.
Well, and
But killing yourself
but-
at 9,
But
that's
they
a
have
thought
that, that
process.
story
it's
about
not
the
wanting
boy's
to
mom.
live. That it's being hurt so deep that you don't want to live. So and
Like,
and,
you
and
know how to hang
Yeah.
yourself at 9?
you got the
But a little
internet.
boy did that. He hung
Yeah,
himself
they
at
got
9.
YouTube.
'cause
Baby,
his
you
mom
got the
was
internet all day. All you gotta type in is "I want to die."
Yeah, you got those 2-year-olds who be all on your phone unlocking it,
Okay.
sending you
But-
to look. Okay, so good. Come on now.
I get it,
Changing
yeah.
the
But-
Geez. I guess in my mind, like I said, maybe I'm thinking about when we was not at 9, you still a baby. Like, you still in what, 4th grade, 5th grade? Like,
My
you
niece-
still walking around I mean, you some grown
And, my niece
But
is
you know what I
10.
mean? Like-
you have to build their self-esteem up. And I always tell her, who's the smartest little girl I know? And she said, me, auntie. Who's the prettiest little girl? And you have to do it at home because you can't allow people to break their self-esteem and break their spirit.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to let you break my baby's spirit.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. That's what happened to this little 9-year-old. Her spirit was broken.
Mm-hmm.
They got to her in a certain point where she could not actually, she felt like there was no reason for her to live because of the way they spoke to her.
But I'm gonna
That's
tell
why
you,
it's important that as adults
right.
we build them up and not let other
And I'm
little
gonna tell you, I
kids tear
sat
them
there
down.
and I
Women need to
listened. I
constantly
sat there and I listened to her mom, and oh God, I mean, and her mother was so distraught about it, and she was so upset about it, which makes sense. But she was saying how her baby just kept asking and kept reaching out and kept wanting somebody to help, and it always made me think about my cousin committed suicide, and he was a lot older, but we were so close when he was young, and for the longest that stuck with me, like, was I not available? Did he try to call me? Did he try to reach out? And I just wasn't
there.
available. And I was like, as a teacher who taught her, or as a principal, I can't even imagine how they feel right now.
No, and it's the thing that I keep
Happy
saying.
birthday, Peaches.
Thanks, cornbread.
It's the thing about 13 Reasons Why, which is I want everybody
I
to
love
watch it
that show.
because let me tell you why.
It's good.
Because it's the same thing that the boys were saying to me. That was so stupid of her to kill herself. But it's not how you internalize it. She internalized everything as a person, and most of that stuff wasn't even on her.
Yeah.
But she internalized, like, I could have stopped it. And she couldn't have. I mean, and once you get past that stage of not taking it all personal,
Right.
then you realize it was okay. It was fine that I went through this, but they don't get through that other stage. They stay right there taking all the hits, and the only way they think to get rid of it is to kill themselves. But yeah, I think 13 Reasons Why a lot of people should read it.
Well, let me say this. I will say this. Let's say
Is real season on?
moment of silence for Mackenzie Adams.
Okay.
And the fact that her mom now has to deal with not having her daughter. And we just pray if there's any other young children that are out there, there's somebody you can
in
reach
their
out
life
to.
that
The suicide hotline, I think, is
Somebody you can reach out to. So I just want to, just a moment of silence for Mackenzie Adams.
It is 1-800-SUICIDE. I think. I did.
It is.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The number that they can dial is 1-800-SUICIDE. I was trying to think the number. What's wrong?
I said a moment of silence for Mackenzie Adams. Let's think about her. And I'm more than sure that right now there's probably some kids that may be contemplating that or going through that, and I just pray right now that God has put somebody's heart on that child where they'll reach out to them.
Or if you are that child and you need to talk to someone, call 1-800-SUICIDE.
They can
A lot
also text.
And
Yeah,
text.
a lot of times, depending culturally, some kids just won't even do that.
No, I mean, we're telling them. Some kids don't know it. So, I mean, it's out there for you. Okay, so ain't nobody got time for that. Peaches, you ready for ain't nobody got time for that?
I was born ready for this.
Okay, last Thursday, a Scotland mom.
You was born today ready, huh?
I was
And she
born.
sang this hair one more time.
Yeah, girl.
I'm
I'll
gonna
give
call
you some on
Brazil and
Saturday,
tell them
baby.
to come get their hair
I
back.
told you I had already thought about putting mine back
I'm
in there.
gonna call Brazil and tell them to come get their hair back.
This is a Brazilian baby.
I'm gonna need you to slow down.
No, I'm talking about if she sang it one more time, I'm gonna call Brazil and tell them to come get their hair back. Okay, so last Thursday, a Scotland mom was embarrassed when she realized she had sent her 5-year-old son to a nativity show, and he was in a nativity show with a blow-up sex doll. I mean, sheep. It was a show of sheep. So is he supposed to brought a sheep? But it's a sex doll that people use.
Wait, okay, so you saying she sent them there and she thought it was a sheep?
Yeah, she thought it was a blow. She ordered on Amazon. She thought
She
she
didn't
ordered
do that.
She thought she bought
I mean-
a blow up sheep, and it's a
She
it's
lied.
a sheep,
Oh
but
my
it's
God.
a sex doll.
What she did was she bought the sheep and the blow up and sent it with the wrong
Well, what
one.
was she wanting to do with the blow up sex doll? together.
It might have been for a hug.
She might want to rub on it.
Or she might have been a little curious and want to practice.
But she was
Lord.
embarrassed because he showed up with the sex doll.
She knew what she was doing.
So ain't nobody got time for
Ain't
that.
nobody, you ain't get mixing up no sheep and no naked woman.
Okay, so at Sonic's, an employee was arrested after an 11-year-old found ecstasy in his kids' meal.
Oh
Y'all got time for that?
no! And I'm gonna tell you one thing on everything
An
I
11-year-old
love.
found ecstasy in his kids' meal at Sonic's. An employee at Sonic's was arrested because he put the ecstasy in the child's kids' meal.
He would have got arrested and a well
Whooped.
All the smoke.
I'm talking about raining
Smoke
down
in
on
the
him.
whole
Y'all got time
Here's
for
the deal.
it?
It looks
No,
like
but here's the deal. You know, you never know.
Yeah.
I don't know what ecstasy
All right, so I'm gonna
looks
tell you
like.
this story of some people. I'm not gonna name their names. I'm not naming no names. But
I'm just guessing.
those jewels and the effect they're having on these middle school kids are real.
Oh, the little
Yes.
smokeless things?
They have flavors.
Yeah.
That taste.
The
Yeah.
hookahs. Almost.
Well, no,
This-
yeah.
Yeah.
So, e-cigarettes and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, someone I know was, I guess, accosted by a friend and said, "Hey, you smell that?" And she's like, "Yeah, what is it?" "It's pineapple. It tastes like pineapple. You want to try it?" "Yeah, I'll try it." So they're at school vaping, and they're
which
trying
could
to bring
kill
a
us.
lawsuit
We don't even know.
against the vaping industry because they knew who they were marketing to, just like what cigarettes did.
Absolutely.
And so with all of the flavors that they have created,
Yeah, it makes sense.
it has and so they taste it and it tastes like pineapples and cherries and strawberries and they just love it and they don't know the chemicals that are in it. And because there's technically no tobacco, we had no laws against it in the school system. So we would take the machine and maybe give them detention or something like that. But
And give it back.
Right, tobacco is it's a zero tolerance
it's zero
for that.
tolerance for tobacco.
So that would have been something different. But I want you to
And
watch your
alcohol.
children. If you see those little jewels, they look like little inserts that you will put in, and they have like a little liquid in them. If you hear about it, and then if you use
I
them,
have no
because I
idea.
think this one kid got it from his brother. So his brother had a couple of them, and he got
I'm about to
5
shake
times
some
more
cheering
potent
down
than
tonight.
cigarettes.
I'm about to go shake my
5 times
cheering
See, that
down.
goes back to
Five times more
how
potent than cigarettes.
when you want to start the show about you talking to your kids about these
Yeah.
type of things, because me and Gabe have had a conversation about this, and I was trying to explain to him. I said initially when the e-cigarettes and stuff first came out, it was to help people quit smoking,
Right.
and it was
Now
like
they
a way to
hook on
titrate
e-cigarettes.
down the
Right.
amount of tobacco that you take.
but really
it's worse for
It
you.
marketed as a way to quit smoking.
Yeah.
But it has, like I said, 5 times as much
much nicotine than a
so
regular
it's not
cigarette.
the tobacco in it, but the nicotine is in
Yes.
there, and it's highly addictive.
It's more so. It is
It's like a
like
whole
yeah.
school bus of not college kids, high school kids got sick because they were
Yeah.
on the bus because you constantly are puffing
Check it
on the
out.
thing,
Yeah,
and like
no.
a cigarette, you would have to go out and
Did it
smoke
time
and
out?
come back in, but you're constantly puffing on
Yeah.
it, you know.
All right, well,
A former beauty queen, 28 years old, and she's a teacher, y'all, at a middle school. She's been sending nude photos to
Girl.
a 15-year-old boy.
let us send them to my 15-year-old.
Girl, I beat that heifer. She'll never
Let
have to
us
worry
send
about
it.
wearing
Let
a
us
crown
send it. Let us
again.
send it.
Baby, let me tell you.
Rap buddy,
What
slap
is
up.
wrong with you?
So I occasionally check Gabe's phone. Let me see. Am grown ass woman.
Am.
This what's finna happen. Here we go, right here,
'Cause I don't care what anybody say.
and I'm finna box.
It goes back to gender equality. They think because
This
it's women, it's okay for these young boys, but they still get manipulated like women do.
Well, and I don't get
Still
it.
manipulation.
Then my thing that I don't get is that you hear men saying, "Ooh, where was the teachers like that when I was?" And it's so disgusting. I'm like, child molestation is child molestation.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we ain't got time for that. We got one more for Peaches, or we done?
You got one more? Come on, give
Let's
me
go.
one
Let's
more.
go. One more. Come
One
on.
more.
Would
One
you
more
rather
for
be
the
able
birthday.
to fly,
2 times
be
for the birthday?
invisible, or read minds?
Read mine.
Girl,
Oh,
why?
no, I do not want to know what you
Because-
thinking.
Why? Why, Peaches?
Because for one,
control
You care what
no,
people think.
no.
Let's listen to it. What?
No, it's not that I care what people
Okay,
think.
go ahead.
One, the number one reason is because I'm nosy.
then you care what people think.
No, it ain't about caring what people think. And number two, if I can read your mind and see if you trying to plot it on me or my son or whatever, I can circumvent that.
Because like, it's a good and a bad way.
It's a good and a bad way, yeah.
Because just the same way, you know how sometimes you may be thinking something and then not hurt somebody's feelings or whatever, or it'll pass and it's really not that serious, but the thought come in your head. You'll be seeing everybody's thoughts coming in.
I know.
Like, that was just,
I would like to be invisible.
And I'll be like, oh damn, that's what Keisha really think about her. And I'll be like this.
I don't care what you really think about it.
Fly, invisible, or
and
read minds.
Ooh, I'm thinking I might change it to
I
fly.
was gonna say fly. Like, let me get there, baby.
Yeah, because we
are.
are. I know.
Especially if I can do one of these, bloom, and I'm in Paris, bloom, I'm back home, baby.
Or
I still want to read
all over. You still read?
I don't want to.
Yeah, because think about it from I could make how much money being. I can tell you what they think.
Let me tell you this too, because that movie's coming out with
the women
with
Taraji.
Taraji P. Henson,
I'm
where
saying
she actually does that. Read minds. So we're gonna go check that movie out.
Okay.
But the other part of that is that when I really think about it, at 47. Maybe I wanted to read it.
She got to get to be 40. She got to go.
It has nothing to do.
We're saying that. We're saying everybody tell you when you turn 40, you don't care.
Well, listen,
baby, I already don't care.
No, hold on.
I don't care.
Pause for a second. I told Keisha that before she turned 40 because I'm older than her, and she was just like, him and her like you did. Did I tell you the truth?
Girl, I could care less.
But like I said, it has nothing to do. Or I don't care what people think about me. I mean, y'all know me well enough to know.
Saying what people
no, but that's what Key said.
I'm saying I don't care.
I just want to do it because I'm nosy. That was right off the bat. I'm nosy. I will sit like how I told you. I love to go sit and people watch and wonder. I give people lives based on how they walking past me and what they doing. So I just want to see what your thought process is and how how people process things. No,
I would like to be like a medium though. I wouldn't mind doing that, but not read minds where like I can connect with someone who's passed. It's gonna give them peace.
I would do that.
So many people
lose people.
Well, no, they live with the burdens of things, especially if you don't do people right. My grandmother used to always say that though. She said the one who falling all over that casket was the one who. Yeah, because when I think about it right now, I would hate to lose any of my close friends, my family, anything like that. But I feel like I tell them I love them. I feel like I have no ought or with anyone.
We were hugging in Belks this weekend. She didn't want me to touch her. We were not hugging.
From the outhouse
to the penthouse.
We out.
Two different point of views with the same name.
Stop. What they name is
Keisha and Keisha. Keisha, Keisha and Keisha. Oh, Keisha and Keisha.